Hey everybody, today we're talking about my first impressions of the Smashing Pumpkins new archive series on vinyl. Stick around and we'll dive in. Recently, two new albums arrived in the mail. These are ones that I had on order for quite some time. These are from the Smashing Pumpkins, live at the Viper Room from January 15th, 1998, and live at Kawasaki from February 24th, 1992. Both of these are part of the new archive series that the Smashing Pumpkins started putting on sale last year. The backstory here is, I would say, probably about late May of last year. They started taking pre-orders, and it was kind of a one-day only thing through his Madame Zuzu's tea house down near Chicago for an album called Live in Japan. And this was part of an archive series. They were selling just standard versions that had colored wax, and then also an autograph version. Thought it was a cool idea. It sounded like one of those things that you got to make your decision right that moment, whether or not you want it. I figured, like a lot of things that are hyper limited like this, the worst thing that would possibly happen is I buy it, I don't like it, and could probably easily sell it at some point due to the limited nature of the release. So it said 6 months for production to expect to get a return. So I figured, well, late in the year, maybe around November or so, it would come out, and that was about it. And then in July, they started taking pre-orders for a second one, which was the Live in Chicago at the Viper Room. So that one again had a 6 to 8 month return. So I figured early 2022, maybe late 2021, but more likely early 2022. And then nothing, and it just kind of sat there. And I almost to the point of forgetting about it. If it wasn't for the fact that I keep a spreadsheet of what I've ordered, I probably would just completely forgotten until I got some sort of email notification where it showed up in the mail. They both arrived in the last month or so. I'm recording this in April of 2022. I want to say they both started to come around like maybe late February. What was interesting is, even though I ordered Japan was pre-ordered first. I actually got Live in the Viper Room first, and then the Kawasaki, which was originally, as I said, billed as Live in Japan, that one came out second. Overall, what are my impressions here so far? Now, they did take pre-orders recently on a third edition, which is again 6 months-ish, 6 to 8 months to get released. I'm hoping at this point, I feel like orders are not getting bumped with the same frequency as they had been in the last year. So I'm hopeful that there's a little bit more of an understanding of what the production times are looking like right now. But we'll see, if I actually get it in September, October, if it waits again until, early 2023 at this point. And that third edition is part one of at least a two-part series, presumably, of early demos, kind of like pre-Gish stuff from the late 1980s. So overall, what are my impressions? Well, first off, it's I want to say from musically pretty cool. Both of these had really good performances. In particular, I really like Live in the Viper Room. So Live in the Viper Room, and I like the artwork on it too. It looks pretty cool. It's two LPs. Side A is just James Iha solo. So he just does a solo set, and then that's it. And then sides B, C, and D are Billy doing a solo set, and the work that he's doing is basically off of the Odor album, and I know a lot of folks are not huge fans of that album, preferring the earlier things like Gish and Siamese Dream and Melancholy. I always liked Odor. I listened to it very heavily when it came out in the late 1990s. I dug it. So, so for me to hear really stripped down versions of a lot of those songs, along with some earlier tracks too, very cool. So I really enjoyed this. At least my copy, dead quiet, and just very enjoyable listen. The live in Japan, live at Kawasaki, I thought the performance was really good. This is, as I said, recorded in '92, so this is Gish era material. The production quality not super hot on this. Some clicks, some pops that were clearly in the vinyl. I cleaned these pretty well. I gave them both a good wet clean before I played them. And I got to say, I was a little bit disappointed in this one overall. I've heard the same thing from others that the production quality on this. I thought about reaching out, but to be honest with you, it's such a hyper limited release. What's my recourse? Maybe they give me credit for a future, or to shop in the tea house or something like that, or a few bucks back. But it's not like I can just send it back and get a new copy, because it's super limited. It's just kind of, it is what it is at this point. And to look for this on the secondary market, just forget about it. These have both been selling with some regularity on Discogs, and we're talking, $3 bills easy at this point. It's like $200-300 a piece. So that's kind of the disappointing part on this one is it's just the quality just wasn't quite there. The performance is there, and the sound, you could tell that the sound was really good, but just the pressing quality on this one was a little bit weak. Not the case with the other. I like the style on these. I mean, you can see them, the artwork, the black and white with a little bit of color. I dig the logo. I'm based on the artwork I saw for the third one that's coming out. It's that same kind of general look, and I like it. And I think these will look nice in the collection. Price wise, a bit pricey. $80 to get a non-autographed double LP and that's 80 a piece. And the new one that just took pre-orders and sold out in a day, 80 a piece. And I saw folks complaining on Reddit. It's like, who's going to pay these prices? Well, people are paying the prices because they sold out. So if you want to be a contrarian and complain about the prices, that's fine. But don't think that these aren't going to sell out. Super limited, super desirable. People dig the Smashing Pumpkins. I know it's from that alt rock period. They're probably a little bit behind Pearl Jam and Nirvana and some of the others, but Smashing Pumpkins to me is just one of the iconic bands of the 1990s, the alt rock era, and I've always loved them. So to if you want to complain about the price, that's fine. And I kind of bit my tongue and hit buy and went with it. They're selling autographed copies of these as well. I want to say that the autographed versions were around $150. Which to me was just insane, and seeing the autographs, I'm glad I didn't pay the extra 70 or so bucks for the scribbles that were on the covers, because it's not, to me it's just kind of like Sharpie on the cover, and it's really not a good value in my mind. I guess if you're a flipper, that's great. You'll make your money back easy. But just as a collector, I enjoy getting some autographed albums from time to time if they look cool. But I've got a few that are duds and just not worth the extra bucks. Usually when I buy an autographed album, maybe the standard version is $30, and then the autograph is maybe $40. So pay extra $10, fine, not a big deal. But to go from 80 to 150-ish or so is just kind of astronomical. Again, for the price, my assumption here is they're looking to make a little bit of money. It's not like they're trying to break even here. So I get it. Production costs are way up, and material costs are way up. So it's going to cost more, and it's 2 LPs. There's no lyric book inside. These are not high-end tip-on jackets. These are, they're fine. They're nice. There's not, they're not poorly made, but they're just, you know, it's just a standard. They're not gatefolds. It's just a standard jacket. There is an insert sheet, which I forgot about. No, there isn't an insert sheet. There is not an insert sheet. There was a little informational sheet, but that's it. It's just, you know, and they came in just plain paper sleeves as opposed to a polyline. So I think from a production quality standpoint, if I'm paying $80 for a 2 LP set, generally speaking, I'm buying something that's audiophile, you know, Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, Analog Productions, and even from them, they're, you know, unless you're getting into some of those more pricier super vinyl level things, you know, those are more like $60, not 80. So from that end, it just, the price to me was a little bit high, but as I said, so limited and such a desirable band, and the fact that they sold out in a day, in less than a day really, tells you all you need to know that they hit their price point. And the other piece that I will give them too is they're probably pressing in such low quantities that the price is going to be more expensive anyway. I mean, if you're only pressing, let's say, 1,000 copies of something, that's going to cost you more per item than 10,000 copies. So, you know, realistically speaking, while expensive, it's probably not as expensive as you would think. But again, not for the faint of heart, I guess. You know, so overall, I like them. The Viper Room to me is the clear winner in this shootout to start. We'll see when Volume 3 arrives at my door. You know, if you don't see a follow-up video for a year, you know, I wouldn't be surprised. I hope that they've got their production aspects down a little bit quicker now, but you know, I am looking forward to that. I am looking for more in the series. I do hope, I wish he took a little bit more of maybe a Jack White third man approach, where you put it up for sale, you know, you give people 30 days, you know, you're in or you're not, and they print as many as there is, and maybe the cost is more like 50 or $60, or if you're going to charge 80, include shipping on that too, because that was the other piece. It was $80, but then I think I paid another 10 on top of that to get it shipped. So, you know, maybe do a third man thing where you expand it a little bit, you widen the pool, maybe bring down material costs a little bit, throw in some, you know, a little bit of kitsch too, some tchotchkes, whatever, a DVD, a poster, a patch, something cool to kind of go with it, beyond just the 2 LPs. I think that would be cool, that some of the other artists, like, you know, like Third Man and obviously Pearl Jam's been doing archive stuff for a while, and now Kiss is doing some archive stuff. So a lot of bands are doing archive, and I'm really thrilled that Billy is doing an archive series for Smashing Pumpkins. I just thought that, you know, quality on one of them was a little bit subpar, price a little bit high, and as I'm gonna throw up on the screen, you know, or have those prices, those flipping prices are pretty astronomical. So, you know, if you want to complain about the price, that's fine, but man, they sold out quick, and they are going big time on the resale market. So let me know what you think. Did you pick up either of these? Will you in the future? You know, Smashing Pumpkins not your thing? Let me know in the comments below. Give this video a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be aware of new content that comes at you. And we'll be back with another video soon. Take care.